Happy Sunday to all you TXL fans. It is that time. Time for episode 388, Just Watch. I am one of your hosts, Brun, BJ Swick 33, and along with me is Rob, also known as Presar,
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello.
and Mark, Wingman 709. Mark? Just kidding. Mark's not here with us, but we have a replacement that Mark said was going to be around. Is Jason, also known as Democulus. Nope, he's not
Crickets.
here either.
Crickets.
Crickets. Democulus, if you're listening or watching right now, you were supposed to be on the show, I guess. But I tried to message you a couple times and couldn't get a hold of you. So, but Gunny's here. You know what? We should have grabbed Gunny. But
That's right.
no, Democulus, we'll get you on. Um, we love having you. I know you're something must have popped up or whatever because I know Democulus would not skip out on it.
That's right.
He's a very trustworthy fan.
That's right.
But we got a show. I had like 3 or 4 topics just to kind of breeze through it. Maybe a short show, but we'll have to see. Every time I say that, it seems to be 4 or 5 hours. Um,
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching the stream right now, let me know how it's going because to me, it looks like it's maybe Twitch might be having an issue. You may have to refresh. I'm not 100% sure. I just know it's pausing on mine when I'm looking, but I'm not dropping any frames or anything. So you just have to let me know. So it looks like it was pausing on me. So
That looks good.
yeah, okay, good. I'm gonna hide the preview. Maybe I just got too much stuff going on, and I made sure I closed down everything and restart. But again, episode 388. Oof. Title is Just Watch. We go live on Twitch every Sunday, around 10 to 10:15, and we usually go about an hour, hour and a half, and then the next day we release the show on MP3 to your favorite podcast player or service. So, but Twitch TV, twitch.tv/this Xbox Live. We usually start out the show with what we've been playing. Rob, it looks like your list is really small. I will let you go first.
All
Besides
right. Quick
Clash of Clans or whatever the new Clash of something
Clash
something
Royale.
Clash Royale, yeah.
Nothing like a Royale with cheese.
La Royale. Yeah, it's because of the metric system. Look at the big brains on Brun. Uh huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, it's around there. Quotes from
Yeah.
movies, I tell you.
Yes. Anyway.
Anywho,
Uh, so for me, only thing I got in this week was a little bit of, oh, what's it called? The car game.
Rocket League.
Rocket League. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Got in some Rocket League, played the hoops version with my son. I like it lots.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep.
I think we talked it to death last I don't know, couple months, so not much more to say other than good stuff.
Yep. Good stuff.
How about you?
Um, oh, you know what? I was going to start off the show and talk about, because Mark always likes to kill me every time he comes back on the show when I screw things up. I was watching last week's show and I was like, "Hey, where's all the scrolling marquees?" And hey, where'd the music go? And you guys jumped in all of a sudden and we just started talking. You guys had a rough time last week at the beginning. Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah,
We're live.
yeah.
No, you guys did a good show, so good time.
We're a bunch of rookies.
Noobs, I'll tell you.
I know, right?
All right. So this week I've been still. I don't want to say having that gaming rut or anything, but I haven't been getting in like playing Destiny. I haven't been playing um the Division because it's just I didn't feel like playing a grindy type of game. You know what I mean by that? It's
Oh,
just like,
totally.
oh,
Yeah.
go in, do these same 5 things. I've been really getting into like just playing stuff, just picking something and playing it. Of course, I played some
Oh, like
Battlefield.
Dark Souls.
Nope, no Dark Souls. Yeah, no, not that. Played some Battlefield 4. with a couple people. Played some Star Wars Battlefront. Played
Okay.
some Rocket League.
Digging into the Wayback Machine there.
Yep, yep. I played a couple rounds of the Doom multiplayer. Now the Doom single player looks awesome. Doom multiplayer to me was like nostalgia. It was like going back and playing Quake
Oh yeah.
and Unreal Tournament. Like it reminded me of that. I can say I didn't have too much fun doing it, but I only played a couple rounds. I could see it's something that can be fun. I don't know how long it's going to last, and that's just that's my opinion. Everybody, I mean, it's nothing wrong with the game. I don't see myself starting the single player. I got to catch some of it on Twitch. I watched Darkness 429. I was watching him play it, and he was having fun, but it did look like it started to get a little bit repetitive. Like go in here, do a monster closet type battle, and move forward. So to me, and I know just other games are coming up that I don't think I'll be starting the single player on that. But nothing wrong with it. Looks like it's been. It does go back. I think they did a good job with the game.
I
But
I think they kept true with the gaming style
I
of just
agree.
basically run and gun,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's simple.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
fast.
applaud them for going and doing what they did because they didn't try to throw a bunch of stuff into it. You know what I mean? Um, it's Doom.
Yeah,
It's Doom.
yeah, because Doom was simple,
Yeah, yeah,
and you could almost even argue that they bumped that up just a little bit, with those like upgrades and such,
right.
adding skill points and
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
But that's just enough.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
enough.
They did a good job for what they added.
Yeah.
So, and then the last game I played is because I want to beat this game. I have to get it finished before the next one comes out, which was Dishonored.
Okay.
I So we're not doing any spoil. I mean, this isn't a spoiling anything. I mean, I think Dishonored's been out for forever.
Ever.
Yeah, forever. I just got to the part where I took care of the regent guy, and then I went
Oh yeah,
back
yeah.
and they
That was that was in that room with that big table or something, right?
yeah, I did the thing where you did the recording of him saying what he did, and then they arrested him. Um,
Oh,
and then I went back, and they're like, "Congratulations!" And then they tried to poison me and kill me. So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
so then I got basically picked up by the other guys that do what I do, and the guy that killed the princess, the guy that runs it, it has me captive, and I got out of there. So,
Okay. And now
um,
you're trying to get your stuff.
yep, trying to get my stuff back.
Okay, okay.
So
I
I
remember
think I
exactly.
have like three more missions left. I actually checked. I think I'm on
Yeah,
the third to the
that's
last
the
mission.
tail end of the game.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm right there. I know I want to beat it. To me, I'm playing it on normal. I may even bump it down to easy just because I'm there to get the rest of the story. Because it's like I want to finish that because I am getting the second one. So I'm definitely getting the second one.
I haven't been following the new one. Is it coming out soon?
It's this
Uh,
year.
it's this year.
I'm pretty sure. I just saw people, IGN did their thing like, oh my gosh, we saw, you know, Dishonored 2, and here's what we know. And it's like you click there and they're like, oh, we can't show you anything, but we're just going to tell you. I'm just like, click. I close it. I was like,
Yeah, it's like
IGN's so clickbaity now.
yeah,
They are they are the ESPN of gaming news sites.
it's
And
like find out more about Dishonored 2 by trying this one simple trick.
yeah, they're IGN's getting really
Never believe.
bad, and it's a shame because I like a lot of the people. I agree with what a lot of people over there write, and I feel the same as some of those guys and gals that are over there. But it's just every little thing. Like even if I want to click a walkthrough video, they split it into three parts, and each part has a minute commercial before it. And it's like, well, you could subscribe to their thing, and you don't have to watch commercials. But I think that's only for the web, not for the mobile. So if you want to do it on mobile, I think you still have to watch the commercials because every Twitter or tweet that they put out on Twitter is a video of something, and you have to watch a stupid video or a stupid ad for it. So, but Dishonored was the last game that I played. So, um,
That's a good game.
yes,
Did you
yes, it is.
Which one did you play? The definitive
Yes,
edition?
that's what I got. So, yep, I'm playing it. I want to beat it, and then the other single player story that I have to finish is Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
So those are two single player games that I need to beat and finish because I beat and finished the previous Tomb Raider, and then I did Quantum Break, and then I want to do Dishonored, and then I'm going to do um, the Rise of the Tomb Raider. All in the middle while playing Overwatch. Overwatch.
You've got a lot on your plate there.
I know, but that's the thing is that's what I was saying is like I'm in that type of mode. Um, the thing is like yesterday and today, or most of the time yesterday, I spent time coding. Like I'm trying to learn some new stuff that's coming out, a new framework or the second version of a framework's coming out, and I really want to spend the time to learn it. So I've been coding a lot over the last day. But that's it
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
Anything else?
Um. No. No. No.
No. All right. Patreon.com/slash this Xbox Life if you'd like to become a patron of the show. Or you can leave us a tip at twitchalerts.com/donate/this Xbox Life. A couple ways to support the show if you would like. Last couple weeks, man, we've been getting some donations. We appreciate everything, guys. Like, you don't have to donate, but when you do, we really appreciate it. All right. Couple topics, couple things to cover is have you thought about changing your gamer tag, Presar?
I've been thinking about removing all the numbers at the end of it.
You have numbers
Oh
that
wait, never mind.
I'm like, what? So,
Because it
uh,
used to be Presar 12589643259983443.
oh, geez, that's long. Yeah, change it just to Presar. Or you did. Is that what you did?
Or I'll add numbers to it.
Yeah. So a bunch of Xbox gamer tags got released, during the week, and people, if you've been looking to upgrade, I think it's like 15 or change. I think it's like $15. Can go out
Used to be
there.
what 800 gamer? No,
Yeah,
800
$10.
points.
Yeah, it was 800 points. I don't know if it's went up or anything, but they released some of the ones that were locked down or people that gave up and things like that. So you can go out there and get what you want. Now, like myself, I'm not going to change. So, and
So you're not gonna go to.
the numbers on mine are meant to be there because that number is my number. So,
I
yeah.
got you.
So yeah, 33 is my lucky
So
number. So
so you don't want to be just
BJ
BJ
Swick.
Swick.
Nope, nope. So I used to, and I tacked my number on there.
Is it because you were born on the 33rd of February?
Nope, it's not. Yeah, it's not the day I was born on. Not the 33rd day of the month. It's not how old I am or anything like that. It's literally the number I wore in every sport from like seventh grade. Seventh grade on, I wore 33 for everything except for one season of softball when I was older. I had to wear 44 because a guy who was playing his last year was 33. So and then he gave me the number, and I appreciated it.
Oh yeah.
So,
And now you continue that trend forward into Xbox Live.
yep, yep,
Continue
yep.
to wear 33 proudly.
Yeah, hopefully when Jameson grows up, he'll carry on 33 because 33 I passed down to a relative of mine after I left high school. I gave him my number
Okay.
and I told him I was like, this number, no, no, the only good people wear this number. Is kind of what I was telling. I was like, you got to carry it forward. I was like, don't disappoint me. So, and he did the same thing with his. He gave it to somebody. He's like, don't. He's like, you got to carry this number. So, but yeah.
We know
But
where you
and then my other boy, he's going to be a senior this year. He didn't play basketball last year, which he then lost his number, and I think he might wear 33 for a season.
Oh wow.
We'll
Okay.
see. So
Yeah.
it's up to him. He's his own man. So, but all right. So gamer tags released, very good. Did you see? Okay, so games with gold rumor. Did you see the rumor for games with gold?
For the
for
June.
for June. It's usually we hear about it by now.
Right.
Obviously it'll probably get announced tomorrow, knowing our luck.
Well, We still have what, over a week left to the month, though.
Yeah, but sometimes we hear a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Um, so here I have a rumor, and usually I don't. This isn't that big of a deal, but there's only one reason why I'm making it a big deal
I
is
see. What is
because
it? Yes.
Rise, Son of Rome,
Good game. Good game.
Lichdom Battle Mage would be your two Xbox One games.
Do you remember that one?
No,
Yeah, me neither.
nope. And then your 360 games were Bioshock Infinite, and the only reason why I'm making this a story, Red Dead Redemption.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes, it goes nuts because the thing is, if you remember, any games with gold games for 360 are guaranteed backwards compatible when they get announced. So that means Red Dead would be coming. I can get it on my Xbox One. I don't have to worry about my disc because they're going to give it away on games with gold. I am super excited. That would be another game that I'd go out and play because I think they're going to be announcing Red Dead 2, at this E3. So, but yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
It's,
That'd be really cool.
it's huge news.
Yes, it's big, but it's very exciting. I don't know why I'm so excited about it. It's because I didn't beat it the first time. I didn't even make it to Mexico, but I was really close. But it's one of those things that's like you play it, and then you get sidetracked for so long, and it's just like, well, if I go back, I gotta start over,
Yeah.
and I really don't want to start over again. So, all right. So that was a good rumor. Hopefully it's true. I'd love for it to be true. Um, just watched the title of our show is because there's a awesome game coming out Tuesday called Overwatch. Um, I was reading this and it's really interesting. Like it comes out the 24th, but here's when you're going to actually be able to play the game, and it's good news for people in the U.S. because we don't have to wait till the 24th. Actually,
What?
we're gaining. Yeah, so it's the 24th in London. At that time, London time is when the game is getting released worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what
So
you
what is it? It's going on what, GMT?
I think so. Yeah. So I guess it's midnight BST, whatever BST is. And that's in Europe. So, but in the US, US and what you have is 4 p.m. Pacific on the 23rd, 5 p.m. Mountain on the 23rd, 6 p.m. Central, so 6 p.m. your time on tomorrow, -7, 7 o'clock. So, and then, that covers the US and everything. Canada, I'm not exactly sure your time zones or, whatever you are. that's the way it is. Um,
Yeah, because most of Canada follows the U.S. except for the part that hangs east of our eastern.
gotcha. Yeah. So
It's what, Nova Scotia.
New Brunswick, I think it's up there. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, nice. I don't even have to wait. It's like 7 p.m. too. I was like, I don't have to wait till 11. It's like 7 o'clock. I can play Overwatch on Monday. So
All these families are going to be eating dinner alone tomorrow. This game is like horrible,
well, we'll
causing
see.
family strife.
There is something really important tomorrow, which is my daughter's birthday. So if it comes down
You
to
better
it,
have it early.
if it comes down, I will not be playing Overwatch. I will be spending time with my daughter. If you see it on, it's like after my daughter goes to bed or whatnot. So um,
You better not have a moment of weakness.
yeah, we'll see.
You make no
I
promises.
Yeah, I got Tuesday off as well, so
Yeah.
I can be up all night if I wanted to.
Well played.
Yeah, and I didn't even plan that. It's just the way it happens.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that,
So let me ask you this: would you like to see this kind of release schedule in the future?
it typically does. I don't like it when it's like midnight release and it has to be like midnight your zone.
Yeah.
If they wanted to do, if you're a European, if you're a company over in Europe and you do midnight over there, then yes, and just do a worldwide launch. If you're in West Coast and you do a midnight launch, well then sorry, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for East Coast. You know what I mean? It's just that's just the way it's going to happen. And I really I'm older now. You know, I get up and go to work and stuff like that. Like I really, it's just I'll play it on Tuesday when they release. I'm not usually staying
Sure.
up. It was just this one here. It's like, well, it's so early in Monday evening for me that I could play a couple rounds, but I'm not really too concerned about it. You know, I've played the
Mhm.
game a lot already, so it's not like it's gotta play, gotta play, gotta play, gotta play. But I gotta play, gotta play, gotta. So
That's going to be you Tuesday.
yep.
Now, hey, so I think that a lot of that, like midnight release stuff, that's really like old school thinking in terms of the folks that used to go to GameStop or wherever else. I mean, back in the day with Electronics Boutique and all those other stores, there was a reason why they had it to get you into the stores, and the stores, I think, really did it themselves to some degree because they just wanted to sell the games earlier than having people come in first thing in the morning
Right.
and open at 10 or later yet. And that was when you really had to go into the line if you wanted to be guaranteed a copy because stores did run out. They
Right.
didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Nowadays, what's the point? I mean, if the game's ready, just release it. Like before even the whole business with the lines and the games released on Tuesday and such. I remember games would just show up in stores.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you knew about a game coming out because either somebody told you that it was over at the store or you just happened to see it. It's like, holy cow, this game came out because you knew it was coming out in, I don't know, May, and you just saw
Hmm.
it. And I'd really like to see them switch over to if the game's done, if it's playable, just put it out. Why make this artificial like gatekeeping
Yeah.
system? It's unnecessary.
Yeah. Whenever this like to me, the reason why it's not that they're releasing the game. I mean, we already have the game downloaded. It's
Sure.
ready to go. What it
Turn it
is
on.
they're kicking on the servers at midnight. In Europe, BST. They're kicking it on at midnight there.
Yeah.
So since they're kicking it on, it's just like okay, everybody that has the game already downloaded because you're smart and bought it digitally, and you don't have to wait to go to the store the next day to
Right.
get it. You're going to be able to play it at this time. So I mean, to me, that's what they're doing. They just they're this is the time they're turning on the server. So when they turn them on, hey, the game's ready to go. Wherever you're at, this is when you can play it. So
But if the game's ready for a week already, just
that's true. Yeah, like we could have had Overwatch Pro. I
right.
don't know. Well, that's tricky because I've gotten two patches to Overwatch yesterday. Two
Last
different
minute.
ones on PC. I watched and I noticed that BattleNet was downloading some patches. So, but yeah,
Well, I know that they're never going to do what I was just suggesting, but it would be nice.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like Uncharted 4. They delayed Uncharted 4 for another couple weeks because they're like, oh, we need to press more copies or print more copies off to make sure we have good worldwide launch. And it's just like, well, for everybody that bought it digital, the digital version, let them go play the game because you're
Well,
done with it. Like, why are you making them wait because you have to press a disc for somebody else across the country? Tough, forget them. Who cares? Let
maybe
the
they ran out of bits, so they had to get a couple dump trucks of bits and bytes
dump.
delivered.
Yeah, couple dump trucks. Yeah, very good.
Yes.
What is it that has four wheels and flies?
What?
A garbage truck? Is that what it is? Garbage truck. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
So good. So there's the good news of Overwatch. I'm very excited. Um, did you?
Hey, along the similar lines, do you know how to drive a like a grade school kid nuts with jokes?
No.
This wasn't my joke. It's coming.
What?
That wasn't it.
Oh,
Tell me to start a knock knock joke.
Knock knock.
Come in.
Oh, always like the
They'd go nutty.
always like how do you keep a butthole in suspense? Exactly.
Didn't want to answer that one.
Yeah. Well, usually people's like, how? And you just don't say anything. It's like, no, seriously, how? How do you keep them? How do you do it? Exactly. There's a knock knock joke like that too. It's like, knock knock. Who's
Come
there?
in.
Yeah, knock knock. And you just don't say anything.
Doors open.
Yeah. Not home. All right.
And
So, uh, in
it's okay, bro. It's okay.
I know. I don't understand, and maybe this is here's like a deeper topic, which will be good, so we can discuss. But I'll tell you what this is. Backwards compatibility. Did you see the massive, huge news this week? I mean, I almost left my job and like sped home because of the news that I read, on my phone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Call of Duty Black Ops is backwards compatible now. I mean, I almost lost it. I was pulling my hair out. Like, the internet was going insane. And I'm just like, who cares? Nobody cares. I'm just like, I looked at him just like, I didn't know. I don't know why it was such a massive news story. Maybe it was because nothing else was going on. But Black Ops is backwards compatible, everybody. Please stop whatever you're playing, download it, and go play that game. You've been waiting for it to be backwards compatible. Because, I don't know why, but everybody was super excited for it. Now, if you go, you get a deal if you want to buy it. It's $10 for people with gold. Like the gold deal games deals with gold or whatever. It's $9.99. Now, if you don't buy it with deals with gold, it's $40. Digital download.
That's a big difference.
40. My thing is, it's $40.
How old is that game now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There's a new Call of Duty every year. I can't keep track of them. So, COD Black Ops release date. November 9th, 2010. It is almost a 6-year-old game, and it's $40 digital. So, most people would already have it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know why that was such a huge deal. Hawk, I understand it was the most requested, but even when we were going through backwards compatibility, most requested games, like the top 3 were like Call of Duty games. I understand that the single player, hopefully it's the single player, the reason why everybody wanted those on there. But to me, it was just like, out of all the games ever released, it's like people just want Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. And it blows my mind. Like, I want Red Dead. I mean, that's why that rumor of Red Dead Redemption coming is huge to me, because it's like, yes, to me that should have been like the most requested game. Not it's number 3 or it's number 4 behind 2 or 3 Call of Duties. But everybody, it's good. It's good that it's out there. Congratulations. It's fantastic. You guys can all rush out there and play the campaign and multiplayer, I think. As well as, you have the 3 Call of Duties coming in another pack, together or something like that on 360. I think that was official. It's official now. I think that's $40 or something like that. Yeah. So it's out there. Thank goodness. Holy cow. What a day. I just it's not the game. It's just the way that it was taken. Like the way that the news like just blew up about it. That's the part that was just like, wow, there must not be anything going on if this is the big thing. But this is backwards compatible, so I don't want to get these two things confused with what I'm going to ask you here. Um, the thing that's kind of got me into this is hearing more of the news of like Resident Evil remake, like another remake of a remake
Sure.
of a remake of the first one or something like that.
Or like the Resident Evil HD Remix Definitive Edition.
Remake, yeah, something like that. What's your take? Like, I don't. There are some re-releases or that I would like to see. I don't want to make it sound like I'm against them completely. I want to see like the Mass Effects, but to me they could be backwards compatible and I'd be fine with it.
Sure, sure.
They don't have to be reimagined, redone, and remade. It's different when you have was it Ratchet and Clank? Ratchet and Clank was just remade, the first one. But the
Okay.
thing is, they went in and they remade it. They made some. There's some differences. The way I understand, there's some differences to it. There's upgraded graphics and things like that. Like that game is like 10 years old, or if not older. The Master
It's
Chief
old.
Collection, very old games. Like I know it's just got them all now. You know what I mean? It's just you were buying it because you were doing that. Um, like I said, Mass Effect or Red Dead. Like to me, backwards compatible is just fine. The amount of remakes and stuff that's getting done is just, I think it's to the point where if you're not 10 years old, then you shouldn't
You
be
mean you're that
remade.
old
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
or the game?
yeah, the game. If the
Oh,
game's not like 10 years old, and also not only 10 years old, be like this like this huge game. I don't know how big Resident Evil was, or Resident Evil 2, or whatever one they're doing. I know it's good enough to get like 7 other Resident Evils, but you just remade the game like last generation, and then remade it again, and then you remade the remake, and remixed it, and it's just like, how many more do you have to do? How many times are you going to put this thing out? Are people still buying it? That's the thing that I'm wondering. And I know it's Capcom. I think they have
yeah.
their Resident Evil, and they're just money grab. It's a money grab to them. But if you're going to do a remake, it's just like, please, if it looks like a money grab, smells like a money grab, it's a money grab. There's no other way around it. Like another Resident Evil or a remake of a Resident Evil game, that's a money grab. That's all it is. Um, and I know Capcom's all about remakes now, but I think they need to concentrate on, maybe when you're releasing a brand new game, make sure it's finished before you put it out, and screw over everybody that purchased your game. I mean, um, Street Fighter V was a disaster, if you ask me, and that's not because it's what platform it's on or anything like that. That game was not finished. There is nothing to that game. I mean, you're literally buying a shell of a game, and it's horrible what they did to their fan base. It's crazy. Um, but what's your thing on remakes? Is there any games you'd like to have remake? That's the other thing. It's like I could probably think of a couple that I want remade, but it's because they've never been remade before, and they're
Right, right.
12 years old and stuff like that. So
Well, my easy answer would have been Shadow Complex, but
it was remade,
yeah.
and
And I did not get it.
I didn't either because I got the
I won't
free
either.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's backwards compatible, so
Right,
I
right.
can play it there. So
So for basically the same game, I don't see the benefit in, dropping whatever it was, like 10, 15, $20 to get the new version. I appreciate them bringing it back. What I'd rather see them focusing their efforts on is a sequel,
same here.
something different.
Yeah,
And as long as the game is almost identical, if I can play backwards compatibility on my Xbox One, I'm fine with that.
right.
Granted, I did get the remake of Tomb Raider,
The
the
definitive
definitive
edition.
edition.
Yeah.
That one I got, and I did enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So that one kind of
Well,
was.
and I played that one because I never played it before.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm playing it for the first time. Dishonored Definitive Edition. I'm playing it for the first time. But
Yeah,
I could have played Dishonored on backwards compatible.
that's true. That's
So
true.
you know what I mean. To me, it's the first time playing it, and it was $20.
Yeah,
We're talking here. We're just talking about a game that just became backwards compatible, and they want $40 for it. That's ridiculous. I mean, come on,
yeah,
that's insane.
exactly.
But it's just like we're 3 going on 4 years into this console life cycle. There's talks of a new version of this, of this life cycle's of this box, like a PlayStation 4.5 or possibly a new Xbox or something like that coming out. We're talking about refreshes of those. Like it's like we're getting a remastered version of our Xbox One.
Maybe. Yeah.
We're 3 years into the life cycle and people are still pumping out last generation games. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I joke around with my friends at work, and it's just like, oh, the PlayStation 4 is the best PlayStation 3 you could own because you're playing. And the thing is, they don't have backwards compatible. They're reselling their junk. they're reselling their games back to their people again.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. Therefore, I don't. I mean, I don't know how many exclusive games they have come out so far. I know Uncharted, fantastic looking game, by the
Sure.
way. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen that game, oh, it looks good. If you haven't, have you seen it, Rob?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Wonderful graphics.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But that they have that game. They had what was the one that was only like 5 hours long? They had that one. I can't remember what the name of it was, but
Not sure which one
yeah.
you're talking about.
I'm trying to think of any other exclusive games. If anybody's in the chat or whatever, let me know. But like I think they've only released like two or three console exclusive games that aren't third party. But yeah, I mean you're going on 4 years into your console life cycle. I mean Xbox has had Halo. We've had Sunset Overdrive, Forza 6. We've had maybe I think 5 or 6 different games that are console exclusive. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just crazy that it's just like if I hear any more remake, it's like, man, you better be remaking something that deserves a remake.
Exactly.
And definitely, I mean, if it came out toward the tail end of last generation, backwards compatibility when it comes to Xbox, that's the best thing you can do. Like, stop making us rebuy things, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
One thing I was thinking about with that Black Ops is that so if the game's 40 and the discounted price for gold was 10, right?
All right.
I was kind of wondering if that was a way for them to get people to get gold. Like if somebody really wanted it and they didn't have gold, they could maybe get gold online for like $30 plus then get the games for 10 and it would be a wash.
I don't know. I mean, well, the other thing is like I think Black Ops actually came out for games for gold at one point in time. I have it in my list, so I mean, I don't. I think it came from games with gold. I don't know. I mean, you're talking forever ago. The game, like I said, it came out in 2010.
Actually, I got to check that out then.
So yeah,
Because I definitely didn't
oh, okay.
grab
Yeah,
that one. I'd be curious to see if it's in my list.
it's just I don't know why. I don't know why it's starting to bug me, but it's just But then I hate to be a hypocrite, and it's like the one game that I want to be remade gets remade. I'm like, yay! You know what I mean? So it's just there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Remastered and remakes are just going crazy. It's crazy. So new games, new games, new games. So, but yeah, while you look that up, I'll mention the last thing. The last thing I actually had to mention was the I yeah, I got one more thing after this too. So
Okay.
Forge for Halo 5, there's a Windows 10 coming. Um, the Halo Forge experience is coming to Windows 10 PC. Um, I'm not exactly sure when it's getting released, but when Forge was redesigned from the ground up for Halo 5 on Xbox One, it opened the door for even more inventive community created content, pushing the boundaries, yada yada yada. So what you're getting is they announced it. It'll be on later this year with Forge, Halo 5 Guardians, Windows Edition. It's absolutely free, which is awesome. Um, it gives you keyboard and mouse support, increased resolution. You can test and play with friends, enlist the help of friends to help build, test, and play your Forge creations on Windows 10, build on Windows 10, and publish to Xbox One. So, if you've seen some maps that get created in Halo 5, they're, people do a really awesome job. They put a lot into those maps, but now giving them the ability for keyboard and mouse and building on a computer and then pushing out to Windows 10. I think that's what they're trying to go with here. And to me, it's just another thing of like, well, maybe Halo 5 will be coming out on Windows 10. Um, but this, I think, is just kind of showing more of Xbox on Windows and this hopefully more of like cross buy, cross play type things later in this generation, or hopefully after E3. But the only thing I will say, and I don't know how you feel about it, Rob, is there are four, three, three main PC, I guess four, um, places to buy games. Right, big one,
Okay.
Steam. Right, we all
Sure.
know
Right.
Steam. You have Origin because EA doesn't want to put their stuff on Steam. They want to have their own thing. You have uh, Ubisoft's client, but they also sell on Steam, so I think you can get it in either place. Um, and then you have Blizzard's thing where they have all their games on there. You can't get those on Steam. Like the Blizzard and Steam, I think are the two best. I wish Origin would go away and just put their stuff on Steam,
Yeah.
and Ubisoft is kind of already doing that. Um, and I don't like them putting their games in the Windows PC store or the Windows App Store or whatever. I wish they would just partner and put their stuff on Steam. um, Already there's multiple places. If you listen to Push to Talk uh, podcast, I think it's Push to Talk FM. Some other people we're familiar with. They have a person that rants on there every day or every week, and he is just not happy with the way that Microsoft is handling PC gaming. It's like they want to do their own thing. It's like stop trying to do your own thing. You figure you would learn after a while and after your failures of the cell phone market and everything else. Like stop trying to do your own thing and go and put your stuff elsewhere, which you're starting to do. Like you can get Office apps on Android, you can get Office apps on,
Sure.
you can get it on Mac. Cross-platform for Visual Studio. It's like they're doing all these things, but then it's just like, oh yeah, Gears of War. The latest Gears of War. Yes, you can go to the Windows store and buy it. No, no, put it on Steam. Everybody has a Steam account. So, um, or put it back in an Xbox. Like put the Xbox app, put it in that store that you can buy on your PC. I think that's the way it's going to go, anyways. But it's just everywhere. It's just everywhere. So, but to get this Halo Forge, I think they're putting it on the Xbox wherever you got Quantum Break. Did you download the PC version of Quantum Break?
Mm, I don't think I did.
You bought it though, right? You got a
Yeah,
key for it.
I've got the code for it.
Yeah, I think it's in that store or whatever. So, I tell you, but Um, yeah, the last thing I was thinking of when that talking about the Halo Forge experience was I saw some things where they ran through the E3 presentation from start to finish. Phil Spencer and them, they did like a dry run through the
Okay.
whole show or whatever. I am really excited about this E3. I am super pumped for this E3. And I think a lot of people are, not just Xbox people or whatever. Just the gaming world in general, we get excited for E3. The more and more people I talk about, more people are concentrating and are focused and are wondering what Microsoft is going to do for E3. It's crazy. Like everybody wants to know what Microsoft's doing, and I, to me, being a Microsoft, we obviously have a podcast for Microsoft, not with Microsoft, but about Xbox. Um,
Sure, sure.
we're excited for it, but it's fun to watch and to hear other people say, like, I don't know. It's like, well, we know PlayStation are going to talk about, uh, you know, their VR experience, and they're going to show a couple games and probably more remakes. Little stab there. But
I
they're
think
just, but it's just like, well, what's Microsoft going to do? And it's like, well, the only thing we ever heard was, they have at least two, possibly three things that are just as big of announcements as backwards compatibility last year. And the backwards compatibility announcement, which to some people we were just like, oh, okay, cool. But to the gaming in general, that was like the big announcement. That was like the mic drop. Was was freaking backwards compatibility. So to kind of hear that they had, oh, say Hawk even mentioned it. Microsoft said they had an announcement bigger than backwards compatibility. Yeah, what I've heard is they have two, possibly three big announcements that are just as big that could change, gaming and the gaming world and the gaming community and stuff like that. So like everybody's got their eyes just waiting to hear what Microsoft has. And man, I hope they come to knock out, just knock it out of the park. You know,
oh yeah.
don't worry about your competition. Don't try to outdo your competition. Just make
Because
gaming.
your competition already outdid you.
Yeah, you've already lost that war.
Well,
you know,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
who cares what they're doing? Don't make me buy another Xbox because they're making their people buy another one of their boxes. Just come and bring gaming. Like, make a gamer happy. It doesn't matter. Even if they're not an Xbox, like, don't do it to sell Xboxes. Do it to make gaming awesome. Push the envelope of gaming. Make everybody else look at you and say, "Oh, we have to get on board with them and push our industry forward.
Oh, like with the
Enough with
Kinects.
this freaking 40 million versus 20 million. I don't care how many million boxes you sell. There's more PCs than there are PlayStation 4s. So, but push gaming. Do something that makes PC gamers like say, "Holy crap, I need to look at console gaming," or I hope they do that for PC. That's what I really want out of this E3. I want something that is just mind blowing,
Hmm.
and I wish everybody would strive for that. Just not Microsoft. I wish everybody would strive for something.
Yeah.
I am super excited for E3. So, and
It's coming up quick.
yeah,
What is it?
it's
Like 3 weeks away?
yeah 3 weeks away. So here pretty soon. Like for the entire year, I saved our pre E3 and post E3 scripts from our episodes, which were 346 and 347. I'm looking at them right now of like the things we announced or what we were speculating were going to happen. I have those, so then when we do our pre E3 and this time, we can look at what we did last year and what we said last year. So, um, but yeah, I can't wait. And Hawk says, "Have you heard the latest stupid things from PS4 gamers?" Nope, I haven't. I wouldn't call it stupid. Is it stupid? We'll wait to see what he says.
Depends.
But I don't know. Those are some things that I had to kind of throw out there. Something? Did you read any? Did you read anything interesting this week. I mean, I think a majority of the tech week and stuff was consumed by Google I/O. But is there any gaming stuff that you kind of?
Um, well, probably one of the more notable things that I thought was interesting was that on one of the shows that Paul Thurrott does, he's
Okay.
that Microsoft journalist, or rather, that journalist that covers Microsoft things. He went and he tried the PlayStation VR,
Mm.
and he said it was incredible. Did you hear about that? Did
No,
you
no,
see that or
no.
anything or read about it? So I guess they have some kind of VR experience that you can demo where you're in a car with that one dude. I can't remember his name. He does like the Transporters movies.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you're in a car with him or somebody that looks like him,
Hmm.
and there's some kind of shootout or car chase, and it's supposed. He said it was incredible. It was like the best thing that he's ever seen. And I know that he's tried some of those others like Oculus and such.
Hmm.
So if that's any indication of what's going on with Sony's VR
Hmm.
system, it's going to be a formidable foe. And
Was there any
Microsoft,
gameplay in that, or do you just sit in it, or was he just? Do
he
you
said
just?
it was, he said it was a 5 minute demo,
Okay.
and they actually cut it short at 5 minutes because he said that people just don't want to leave.
Oh, okay.
They just want to continue it, so they actually do a hard stop on it.
Gotcha.
But he said the experience was incredible, and you were sitting in a car, so it um, eliminates possibly that getting sick from moving around.
Oh, very good.
So, so they kind of faked out the senses somewhat,
Hmm.
but yeah, he said it was incredible, and Microsoft's got to do something. I think I don't know if it's to the extent of what Wing was saying a couple of shows ago, but they've got to have something in their back pocket
Well,
because
yeah. I mean, I know. As far as tech, like components, I was listening to like, they made their own screen and everything for the PlayStation VR, and it's comfortable, and for the price point they got it at, that's fantastic. Um, but and I know you're into VR. You're excited to see. Like, I'm excited to see what it's going to all be about. I have people at work that are excited to see what it's all about. Um, but like him talking about that, like, oh, it was a pretty neat experience. I sat down for 5 minutes and they made it seem like I was driving around with Jason Statham in the transporter car or whatever. Yeah, that sounds okay. Now tell me what games I'm going to be playing. Or am I just going to be putting on the headset and sitting in my chair and saying, "Oh, look,
and
I'm
watching
driving,"
Netflix.
and yeah, and doing this? Like, to me, that, I mean, he may make it sound like it's cool or whatever, but that to me doesn't sound like anything remotely neat or interesting to me. And that's because I'm a little bit of a skeptic. I do admit that I am. I'm just not sold on VR. Not until.
And I got this thing, the Gear VR,
Uh-huh.
makes me ill.
Yeah. Yeah, and
What's going to happen with the
I'm
rest?
not worried about that. It's like I've seen a lot of people playing it, and like, I get car sick like pretty
Yeah.
bad if I'm not driving, so it makes me a little nervous. Um, but that's not it. I mean,
Wait, have
people
have
complained
have you
about.
ever tried any of them?
No, no.
I get same thing.
I did the
Are
Google
sick.
VR like with a telephone or with somebody's phone.
Yeah.
It didn't make me sick or anything. I don't think. I can't
Depends on
remember.
what you do with that.
But
But
it, it,
I,
it
I can I can tell you this in the Google Cardboard.
yeah.
Speaking
Yeah, that
Like,
thing. Yep.
got one of those. Got the Gear VR. Depending on what you're doing,
Right.
if you get motion sickness from being in a car or like Ferris wheels, whatever it is, these VR things, they will mess you up pretty good. I mean, bad. So I got sick from the Gear VR. It took like 4 hours for it to
Uh,
like go away. I mean, that's how bad it is.
yeah. I
And they got to do something to get rid of that.
yeah. I mean, I still stick behind, saying like Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, Forza, um, Gran Turismo, in American or whatever the trucking simulation is. Like those things there, I can see VR being something, adding to the game experience. But I don't know what VR does for Call of Duty, Destiny, The Division, Battlefield 1, um, Overwatch, you know,
Makes it unplayable.
yeah, The Show 16, GTA 5. Well, maybe a little bit on GTA 5, I guess. But like, what game, what enhancement, what features does VR bring to those games, which pretty much top most of the game sales and what people are playing right now? I mean, or do you have to have a just a VR experience type game like you're saying that guy was doing? Because then at that point it's like, what are people doing? Like, what are you playing? What's the play? What's when you're playing a game? What are you playing? Are you just sitting with something on your face? I just is playing
Oh,
something just
just
doing one of these like looking around. I mean, is it a bird watching simulator game that you're playing,
well,
or
a
what?
lot of the stuff on the phone stuff, like the Gear VR and Cardboard, a lot of it is like I think we mentioned it once before, is you're sitting there just watching stuff happen around you.
Right.
And it's really not even 3D stuff. It's like 2D stuff.
Yeah.
And
But they're so. But I mean, throwing VR into those aren't for playing game. Like to me, those aren't playing games. It's a VR experience. That would be a VR experience, which is
I
similar to what that
suppose
guy was doing. Like, here, come sit in the VR experience. I want to know, like, come play this VR game or come play this game with VR. That's the part where I really want to see what it is. I really think we'll see some of those games during E3 from Sony, you know, but to come, like we were saying, like hopefully Microsoft has something in their back pocket, or what Wing's saying, oh, they have to have an answer for them. You know, to me, I think the only answer they would have to say is like, hey, we're going to team up. Like I said, we've said this before. Hey, we're going to team up with Oculus or something like that,
well,
because
Oculus and Vive. I
or
mean, they both
Vive, yeah,
they now this is what makes sense to me.
mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it makes sense to anybody else, but Vive and Oculus run on Windows.
Right,
Xbox is Windows.
right,
I would think that, and I would not be surprised if they just basically say, we have integrated Xbox One with Vive and Oculus.
there you go.
And you can now take your pick and use either one
Yeah,
starting
yeah. Whatever you bought for your PC,
2020.
yeah, whatever you bought for your PC, you can now use that because here's a good thing. It is to go having it in their back pocket, like you said, an answer, them having the answer for PlayStation VR in their pocket. When you're saying answer, are you talking about an answer for the hardware? So that would be their answer for the hardware. So, hey, here's PlayStation VR. And then Microsoft's answer would be, well, we can do Oculus and Vive, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much sums that up, right? Because
Yeah.
my thing
I mean,
is,
they don't need their own hardware
right,
as long as you can get that experience.
agreed. Because the part that I get stuck on, and I have a hard time conveying this, is Microsoft has to have an answer for, and then I'm waiting for the for what? For what? What game? What experience? For the hardware, okay, we answered what they could do for the hardware, but what's the hardware doing? I mean, for what? For what game? For what play? For what?
I see what you're
And the
saying.
thing is nobody has an answer for that, because even the companies that have Oculus 5 and PlayStation VR, they haven't even announced what they plan on doing for it, because they may come out and be like, "Hey, here is you know, here is Wii Bowling, or here's bowling, VR bowling, and here's VR this, and here's VR sports." And then everybody looks at it and says, "Well, that's the same thing as like Connect Sports and Connect this and Connect that." And all of a sudden it is exactly another gimmick. And then Microsoft looks like a hero when they're just like, "Well, thank goodness we didn't put any time and effort into that."
Well,
But it can backfire both ways. I mean, I
yeah,
understand.
because right now they have one competitor, realistically. Well, uh, I'm not. No, I'm going to say one because I mean there's PC, but I don't consider it's not a console. So they have one competitor. VR is hot right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oculus, Vive, Android stuff with the phones. It's the thing. Augmented reality, HoloLens, all
Right.
of that. Their competitor, which is kicking their butt right now, has something. We don't know how good it's going to be. We don't know how usable it's going to be, or even when it's going to come out, where it's fully usable.
Well, it comes out in
If
October. we we
Yeah,
we know when it's coming out.
right. But I mean, it comes out then, and it might have like Bejeweled playable on it for all I know.
That's yeah. Right.
But the thing that Microsoft has to, and here's where I'm going down with what Wing said, the thing that they have to do to get an answer out on this stuff is that if they don't respond in some way to this,
Mm-hmm.
then they're going to be left in the dust from the standpoint of perception. The perception is going to be Sony's got all of this cool stuff. They have this VR headset that has this interesting experience. If I buy something, I'm going to buy that. It doesn't mean you're going to drop $10 million on that headset. What's that thing going to go for? Like 500 bucks, 400 bucks?
Which one? PlayStation VR
Yeah.
is 400.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that people are actually going to go out and buy it, but the option's there,
Yeah.
especially the folks that, the parents and grandparents and people that aren't into the console news, tech, all that stuff like we are and our listeners are. They're going to know is the dude at Best Buy is going to say, "This is Sony," which they know because of the TVs. "This is Sony. They got this cool experience over here. Try this demo. What are you going to buy? This or that other system that doesn't give you this?"
Yeah, but my thing is, and let's think about it as far as the gamers we are now, right? No VR gamer, right? Like we have our Xbox.
Sure.
We have games like Gears, Halo Wars 2, Crackdown, um, Recore. I'm naming off all these games, right, that are coming exclusively to our console.
Sure.
We're getting those because those companies are making those games, right? And earlier when I was saying PlayStation, they have a number of first party studios. PlayStation owns a ton of first party studios.
Yeah.
They have Uncharted 4, and they have
Sackboy.
and they have yes, they have a couple other games being made, but it could be a possibility that the reason why we haven't heard about other things from their first party studios is because they're all making VR games, right?
Could be.
Could
Yeah.
be. That's true. I mean, that could be true. So they may come out and say, "We have here's PlayStation VR, $400, killer price, right? For anybody who has a current PlayStation. And 9 of our studios, first party studios, were making games. So you're going to have 9 games by the end of the year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For everybody else that isn't going to be doing VR, we'll get to you next year with some games
After you buy our new system.
If you don't buy our VR, well, we'll get you something. You know, we have third parties. Madden's coming, NHL's coming, Battlefield 1's coming, Call of Duty's coming. You can just play those games while we concentrate on everybody else who's buying our VR stuff, right?
Yeah.
So as an Xbox owner, I'm glad when they say things like, we got Crackdown, Gears, and all these games coming, because you know what? They're games that I'm going to be able to play without having to go and drop, you know, $600, $800, because let's say if they team up with Oculus or the other one, sorry, Vive, you know, it's $600, $800. I'm not spending $600, $800 for these games that, you know, that. So I feel like Microsoft's concentrating on a gamer like myself, you know, and coming out with games and not just relying on third party, where if they're throwing all their eggs in one basket, you know what I mean? That's the thing that kind of weirds me out, where I'm just like, you know, don't rush into things. Like, keep making games for your console. Keep pumping out games for your console. You know, because if a company goes and throws all their eggs in one basket and that basket blows up, you know, or doesn't go anywhere, they're stuck for 2 years, if not 3, before anything comes out. You know what I mean? That's the thing. If you're going to concentrate on that, and I mean, because look at the last screw up that Microsoft did, which was the announcement of the Xbox One, right? It is costing them a 2-to-1 to their competition. A 2-to-1 to their competition.
Can we still blame Ben Matrick?
Yes, we can. But no, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like you're going to be paying for that for this entire generation. So to turn around and rush out and just try to match somebody else, okay, you've done enough to where you can continue for the next generation and make it awesome. You know, are you worried about trying to catch Sony now, or are you just worried about us, the loyal, you know, the people that are standing behind you? Like, keep yourself afloat. You know what I mean? Spend your money where it's guaranteed to work. That's all I'm saying. It's really weird. But, you know, like, you guys can, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, PlayStation VR blows up and everybody's just like, you know, Microsoft shuts their doors, closes them down, turns off the lights, kills the power. We don't get any more games because PlayStation VR went and just annihilated everybody. PC gaming goes away. Only thing you can do is PlayStation VR. Then I'll look back and I'm like, you know what? Microsoft probably should have had an answer for PlayStation VR. I'll come out and say that then. But until then, but I'll tell you what, if it is mediocre or turns into another Kinect, I'm not going to say a word. You know, I'm not going to blame Sony for trying something.
Sure.
But it's just like, hey, Microsoft, you have to answer Sony when Sony hasn't even proved anything yet. That's the part the trouble that I have. You know, because what was Sony's answer to Kinect?
Move? Was that what it was?
Well, no, Move would be their half
No,
answer to, huh?
It was those little wands with the balls on them.
Well, that's their answer. Was that their answer to Kinect?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was their, because Kinect is the answer to Nintendo's Wii, right? And so Move was their answer to Wii, right?
Right.
So here comes Nintendo, does this smash up job for for motion controls, right? Motion controls, yeah. So they do motion controls, sell over 100 million Wiis, right? And so how well is Wii doing right now? So collecting dust in everybody's closet. How well did the next console do for Nintendo, the Wii U? Oh, they've already shut it down. You know, oh, they're coming up with another console the NX. Hopefully it does well. I'm would like to see something good. But just think about that. Nintendo is the one that invented motion controls, basically, which caused the Kinect and which caused the Move. So where are we now with motion controls? Was it a success or did it blow up and everybody? It didn't blow up. It just phased out, right? It wasn't a bad thing, but it phased out.
That was so last decade, though.
Yeah, it was. It is. So, but that's what I mean. It's like that's what we're talking about. We're talking about
VRs and ARs where it's at now.
yeah, VR is the next thing to try. The next thing to try. So, I don't know.
Next evolution.
Sure, I'm still waiting on being. I have to try it, and that's the thing is I will be trying PlayStation Move. By the way, I already got people to bug. So I can,
the VR thing.
yeah, well, yeah, the PlayStation VR. I already have. I know a couple people that already are getting them. So it's something that I'll probably be able to talk them in, and I might come back like, dude, I tried PlayStation VR. This will be my last show on this Xbox Life. If you want to come over to this VR Life, we'll be doing episode 1 next week. It's like that could happen. I mean, I could seriously be like, just like you're saying, that guy that was doing. I was like, dude, my mind was blown, and or I could come back like, well, I threw up on his couch. So it's not for me. I guess I'll have to wait for, The Last of Us 2 3 years from now when they're done making all their VR games. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm still not 100%. But to answer your thing, like, yes, Microsoft can answer the hardware. They could come out and say, we partnered with these two people. If you go and spend your money on either one of these two devices, I know one's 600, one's 800. If you are spending those for your devices for your PC, guess what? You can turn around and plug them in an Xbox, and they will work there too for any games that get made, for the Xbox that have a VR component. That's a solid answer to PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like the other answers they have to come up with is nobody knows because nobody has any proof of anything, haven't announced anything. So, but
yeah.
All right, that's fun. I hate VR. I hate talking about VR, even though I talk about it a lot. All right, let's hit community. Do you have anything else?
No, nothing.
Do you want me to rant about anything else?
No, I think we're good for the show.
Okay. So, a couple ways to talk to us, communicate with us, is by going to our website, This Xbox Life. Now, there's multiple things you can do there. You can click contact, which you can fill out a form and send us like an email. You can email us directly at contact@thisxboxlife.com, or you can send us a voicemail by clicking send voicemail to the right-hand side of the site. Follow the prompts and send us in, and we'll play your show, read your questions, and do everything in the show. If you are a Twitter user, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/thisxboxlife. You can ask us questions, do whatever you'd like. I watch that Twitter account, as well as my own on BJSwick33, of course, on Twitter. You can follow me there, and, do some stuff. Our big thing here, though, is for our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/thisxboxlife. Lockdown group, but, we just take a look at your profile, make sure there's nothing like, sorry, we can't allow you in because of, those pictures or something. You never know. And this week we don't have any emails or anything like that. Friday Night Life, as we mentioned earlier, Overwatch is coming out this week. I will be playing Overwatch. I will be playing Overwatch. So I'll be there. Now, if you're an Overwatch player, don't have it on Xbox, you have it on PC. I have it on both. So you can look me up on PC or on Xbox. For Friday Night Life, I'll be playing on Xbox, though. So And if you want to play on PC, you can hit us up on our Discord. Like we have a Discord. It's Discord HDB Discord dot therealbrunswick.net, I think is what it is. We'll take you to our Discord where we are playing there. So, all right. What's coming out this week besides Overwatch?
So for this coming week, Xbox One has Overwatch, as Brennan just said, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan, Tropico 5 Penultimate Edition, and Ali Ali 2 XL Edition. The 360 has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. It must mean that movie's coming out.
Yeah, it's
August.
I saw it. Saw a preview for it. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So we don't have anything for games for gold, so it's still the same thing. I think what can they still get right now?
For Xbox One, Defense Grid 2, highly recommended game. By the way, that's good through the end of the month. And Costume Quest 2, that's good through the middle of June. Xbox 360 right now, we have Peggle. That's the original Peggle.
Original Peggle.
And if you're going to be making any of your purchases on Amazon.com, please make sure to use our affiliate link. You can get that on our website. Just go to our website, thisxboxlife.com. Click on the Amazon logo each and every time that you make your purchases on Amazon. Help support the show. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a little finder's fee for sending people their way. And I know that they've got some digital download codes available lately. Some have been some decent purchases. Also, those count as well. So if you purchase those from Amazon, make sure to use our affiliate link. And then, if you folks are on iTunes, and that's how you get your podcasts, please go out there and give us a 5-star review. So rate us 5 stars. Give a little write up of the show if you could. That will really help us out a lot. And moving forward, when people do that, I'll actually read them on the show. So get to it.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yep.
That's what I've heard.
That's it.
A wise man once said.
Like you just now.
Yep. All right. We will be back next week. 389. We're getting close to 400.
389, yeah.
Yep. So, Mark gonna be back next week. He was just out 1 week, right?
I think so.
Okay. So Mark should be back, and we will go on from there. So thank you everybody for joining us and probably cursing at your computers at me with saying with the whole VR rant. I apologize. I'll do no more VR rants until after E3.
Until the next one.
When I'm proven wrong.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm willing to be proven wrong. But all right. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Everybody enjoy their week and have fun playing Overwatch. I am Brun, BJ Swick 33.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Catch y'all next week.
Good night.